Good afternoon, everyone. It's Lisa Ware. Hi, everybody. Today, it's all about um, sort of success strategies, really, with what you do in terms of your business. And as you might have already sort of seen on the what I sent out, it's about creating confidence, because one of the things I've learned over the years is that people will only get into action when they've actually got some confidence. And that's just the way it is. People will not get into action if they lack confidence, if they feel in any way, oh gosh, I don't think I can do this. The reality is they won't do anything. So what I'm going to do, first of all, let me just make sure that my phone is on silent, because you know what's going to happen, don't you? If I don't do this, it's going to ring. Right, guys. So I want to share with my screen, first of all, something that is really important. And you might want to draw this. So let me just get it and share. And let's see if I can bring it in. Okay. Is everybody seeing a little graph? So I would draw a page, do it into 4, and top left, step 1, we all start off unconsciously incompetent. That's quite a hard place to be. It's that you don't know what you don't know. How ghastly is that? That's scary, isn't it, when you think about it, that you don't even know what you don't know. Okay. And what you hope to move to is, if you see the arrow going down, so bottom left, is you want to turn yourself into being consciously incompetent. In other words, you're now aware of what you don't know. And that's a better place to be, because you can do something about it. And then the next step is you want to start to be consciously competent. In other words, you're starting to understand and have knowledge of what you should know, and you can do something about it and get to know about it. And then the last one is the top right, which is your ultimate aim is to become unconsciously competent. In other words, you don't even have to think about it, and you are competent. Does that all make some sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought that that was a really good thing to share, because I think we all start off in that stage and we have to work our way round. How do we go from step 1 to step 4? Right, guys, I'm going to tell you there's good news and bad news. The bad news is there's no short change. You cannot skip this. The good news is, by doing what I'm about to say, you can get competent. And when you're competent, you're actually confident. Did you know that? Competence breeds confidence. And actually, competence is when you're skilled. So actually, what we have to do is get skilled at what we do. Now, the good news is there's lots of things we don't need to know. You know, in truth, we really don't need to know all the stuff about meters, and I don't really understand how internet comes down a fiber cable and goes into something they call a router. And then somehow, by the magic, this router sends it out through the air and it works. They call it Wi-Fi. Do you know, I really don't know how all that happens. Do you think I care? No. Do you think I really want to bother to know? No. And actually, if we get bogged down with all that stuff, we really aren't doing what we're meant to do, which is we are the face of Utility Warehouse. We are the people of the marketing arm. We are the people that are going out and reaching out. So let me tell you some really good stuff. First of all, in my humble opinion, we are in the very best network in the whole world, not just the UK. And I'll tell you why. We are not trying to sell makeup, lotions, potions, magic stuff to make you feel better. We're not doing any of that where people have to retail and literally sell product. We don't have to do that. We just say to people, and I've always loved this expression, and I heard it from Stefan Longworth. We just have to say to them, do you know what? You know, these essential services that whether we like it or not, we have to use them and pay for them. But now what you can do is you can carry on using these services, transfer your spend, and now always pay less. Isn't that fabulous? So we're not actually having to say to them, would you like to buy this? Because they're already using it. Transferring their spend to always pay less. Wow, what an incredible thing that is. So we're in the best network marketing. Now, why is network marketing so good? Because it uses the power of feelings and emotions. We all actually are run by our feelings and emotions. And I'm going to give you a reason why I'll say this, because this is something I've recently learned. You know, if logic was applied to everything, you and I would all, every single day, go to the gym. We would pump iron. We would always eat exactly the correct food to maintain a good weight. We wouldn't be enticed into bad poisons like alcohol and cigarettes and McDonald's and all those kind of things. We would apply logic and we would do the right thing. Is that not true? That's what logic is. And we would be healthy and fit human beings. But do you know what? Logic doesn't come into it, does it? What happens? Well, most people don't go to the gym. And even if they take out a membership at the beginning of January, by the end of January, they've already generally given up. In fact, I believe gym membership is, most gyms will have a membership of maybe 2,000, but they only have about 300 spaces available because they know full well most of them won't turn up. And the reality is, do you see it like I do? Queues of people in cars queuing up for a drive-through at Mackie D's. Do you know what? I find it the most tasteless cardboard stuff out, but people queue up for it. So logic isn't in there. The reality is people are actually motivated by their feelings and emotions. Emotions are powerful. And with network marketing, we don't just advertise and sell. What we do is we generally reach out to people that we know, like, and trust us, and we show them something with passion and feeling. And you know what? That's what they do. They trust us and our feelings and our emotions, and they buy on feelings and emotions. Yeah, that's really interesting. And the reason I say this is because, for example, both yesterday and today, I've done another appointment today where I know the fact that I was there, and as I say, I'm not that spiritual, but I know that I probably exude a kind of energy which can be felt when you're in the room. And this gentleman, as the appointment went on, and he was referred to me, I didn't know him, he was referred, he gradually trusted. And he trusted the fact that someone else had said to him, it's really good. So we were working really on emotions, and he bought on emotions. And he took the lot, everything. And he's now considering being a partner because he could see that I was so animated, passionate, so passionate that people feel that, don't they? That he's actually considering becoming a partner. So here's some really good stuff. Yes, we have got to skill up on certain things. All right, skill up on knowing what our services are And just a quick one, I don't know whether you've seen, but at the moment, the boost is changing. 3 services, 150, 2 services, 75. Do you know what? In my reckoning, that's still brilliant. In fact, I made an appointment this morning, and here we are. This is the recommendations thing, guys. So Juan has his feet done by a podiatrist, a chiropodist. And in fact, it's transpired that he goes to the same one in Blandford that my mum has been going to for years. And what's happened over the last few months, he's built up a relationship with the lady called Michelle, the podiatrist. And the last time he was there, they got onto the subject, and she said, oh, yes. She said, I've never met Lisa, but Lisa's mum, Daphne, has always exuded how amazing it is, these services. And he said, well, he said, I think it's fantastic. He said, it's just amazing. He said, you know what? People just have everything on one bill, nice and simple. And they get all this incredible customer service, and you pay less for it. He said, who wouldn't? Anyway, so what happened, and here it is. Here's the little post-it note. It's got Michelle, and it was a telephone number, and I rang her. And this morning we agreed at 10 o'clock we'd meet up on the phone, and I spoke to her, and she said, oh, I'm in a contract with British Gas until the end of March. And I said to her, well, do you know what? That's really good. I said, because, you know, what Utility Warehouse does is it gives homeowners a special boost. I said, now, up until midnight today, I said it's 200. I said, but tomorrow it will be 150 when someone moves 3 services. She turned round and said, well, I think 150 is amazing, especially as you told me that they even offer up to £400 to help people pay off contracts early. And so what was going on there was lots of emotions on both sides. We had this pleasantry, this lovely conversation. It didn't happen like that. It's been over several months that Juan's had his feet done, and it's building up relationships, because, as we say, if you were on a dating site, and I mentioned this, didn't I, on the 14th, you wouldn't go in there on the first contact and say, marry me. You would actually build a relationship up, and it's no different with this. So some things that I want to share. Okay, as I've already sort of said to you, the first thing that I've got here is confidence is everything, and confidence comes with belief. Now, you've got to have belief that you've made a smart decision to join network marketing is the first thing. Well, I actually think it's marvelous, because it's the principle of, John Paul Getty said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% effort of my own. And I think that's what you call smart, a very smart way of working. The second thing is, you've got to have belief in the products. You've got to believe that they're good stuff. Well, how can you get that? Well, to be honest, the easiest way is use them. And if you don't take them on yourself, how could you possibly recommend them to someone else? I mean, that's just integrity, isn't it? And authenticity. Yeah. And the other thing is, you've got to have belief that the whole network marketing system works. Hey, guys, we're in 27 years in this company. It's proven itself to work. Otherwise, it wouldn't have the growth that it's already got. So anybody now, it's like, what? You're thinking it doesn't work? No, it's already been proven. So that belief is an easy one. And you've got to have competence in skills. So you've got to do the do. There are loads and loads of training courses in the partner portal. There is no reason for anyone to say, I don't know. Do you know what? It's just up to you to say, I'm going to go and get on a course. I've got some new partners, and it's wonderful. They're jumping on the telephone skills, they're jumping in the virtual getting started, virtual getting to future team leader. There's all these courses and they're absolutely free. It's amazing. And I'll tell you the easiest way to understand belief. And this was something very powerful that Steve Critchley, our national network leader, told me years ago. I've never forgotten. I want you to imagine a stool. Do you remember the old stools that had 3 legs? Yeah. And they stood. And he said, imagine if your belief system was each leg. He said, now, if someone came along and said, oh, I think that's a pyramid scam, and one of your beliefs got knocked slightly, wouldn't the stool topple over? Very easily, your belief would topple over. He said, what you've got to get to is a stool with maybe 100 legs. So if somebody comes at you with something like that, instantly, yeah, 1 leg's gone. Has it rocked your belief system? No, it hasn't. My belief system is absolutely massive. No one can rock it at all. And that isn't just because of the number of years that I've been in. All right, so that's a very, very simple principle. The next thing is confidence is all about based on smart decision on the products. Do you think our products and services are pretty good? I do. I live in an area where I get 11 megabits and I'm running Zooms here and it's all working perfectly. And I don't even have any boosters and it's working. Do you know what? The electric is on here every day. I know it works. My mobile, do you know what? I make and receive calls purely through Wi-Fi calling. We have no mobile signal in this area with any network. I have confidence it works. Do you think when I talk to somebody, I can actually talk to them with absolute belief because I'm using it? Some people believe they can join this and not have any services. I don't know how. All right, I really don't know how. So what's next? So I'm going to give you a success tip here. You can, if you wish, become what we call a retailer. And you can make some damn good money. Okay, now a retailer is somebody that just goes out there continuously and retails to people to become customers. Now I've got a lot. In fact, I think today I've hit the 890 mark today. No, not 800, 690, nearly 700, not far off. But it hasn't been my purpose the last 2 years to hit 700 at all. Just isn't. All right, because it's great to retail and you can make some good money. And I think if I can share with you, if I'm allowed to, I'm sure I am. I was £5 short of £4,000 residual income on my personal customers. That's a lot of money, isn't it, a month? That's good money. But guys, I earn 4 times more off the team. So now I'm going to share the success. And as I might have said on several occasions, and I said it to Mr. Critchley the other day, God, I was slow on the uptake here. I mean, it took me 2 years to really understand it might be better to sign up more than 1 customer a month. And then it took me about another 3 years to realise it would be better if I shared this idea of earning money and getting in financial stability and independence with other people. Now, why did it take me so long? And I'm going to say this to you, I'm trying to help you avoid my pitfalls. Yeah. I think the reason was, this was my thinking. Oh, well, I know what I can do. And I do it very well. And I earn more percentage by me doing it than if someone in the team does it. Anybody else sometimes feel that way? Yeah, that was my thinking. But what I didn't take on board was, well, some days, and I've had it, 54 customers have come on in a day. Do you know what, guys? What is the maximum number of customers I could physically manage to sign up in a day? Do you know what? I think if I started at 6 in the morning and finished at midnight, So about 18 hours. I might manage 6. Is it smarter to allow lots of people to do a little to create a lot? Yes, it is. So success tip there is, do you know what? Share this with everyone. And we can do it really simply by just sharing the presentation. And, you know, today I went off on a referral purely on the whole thing was that I'm going to share this because you've got to know this, because I can't believe how some of you tell me you've only signed up 2 services. And I think, I don't know how that is. Right. I was going purely to sign up electric. That's what he told me. That was the call yesterday. And I've just always said, don't fight it on the phone. Get the appointment, get in the door. And that's what I did. And I said, yeah. I said, I tell you what, as well as the electric, I will show you everything, because it would be better that you were informed, because you can make a proper informed decision if you know everything. And he went, yeah, okay then. So I turned up today and it ended up being gas, electric, broadband, and 2 mobiles and the cashback card. Oh, and interested in being a partner. Now that's the way you do it. And it's very rare that I don't get them for most of the services, because my belief system is they are better off by having everything. And you know what? I'm going to share this because I'm sure people think they were actually paying a bit less on their mobiles, both of them. He was paying £10 a month for 15 gigabytes with Libra. Everyone heard of Libra? Yeah. He was on O2. She was paying £18 a month and she was getting 25 gigabytes. And I thought, I said to him, are you smart enough to think outside the box? That's a good line to write down. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, sometimes, I said, a bit like the sandwich deal, you've got to take a bit of everything because you end up with a better deal. I said, you know, that sandwich is £3.50, but you can get a deal of £3.50, the sandwich, the drink and the snack. And he said, oh, I see what you mean. I said, well, if we make it a little bit more, because I said, at the moment, you're both paying between you £28 a month. And I said, you're not getting much. You're getting 15 gig and 25 gig. I said, well, now I can give you absolute peace of mind, confidence. You can have unlimited data, both of you, for the joint price of £30. I said, that's an extra £2 a month, £24 a year. But I said, what will happen is the gas and electric will drop and your broadband will drop. And he went, wow, I see what you mean. That's the way you do it. Now, how's that come? That's come through repetition of skills. And those skills brings confidence that I have the courage, call it courage, to say to them, I suggest it's better to pay a bit more, because overall you'll be better off. So can you see how this whole skill competence thing is? Competence, which is the acquisition of skills, brings about confidence. And do you know what they actually buy? Confidence. That's what they're buying. They're buying the fact that they realise I'm competent and I know what I'm on about. And I'm actually giving them best practice, best advice. So that's why I've wanted to really, really home in on all these things. Now, what's the other thing? I talked about being smarter. Well, you've got to pass these skills on. So when you've done your presentation, you've then got to bother to actually now share that word, share those skills. And how do we do it? We do it by mentoring. And the company has really grasped that the people in the early days, and I don't know who here watched Mr. Critchley being interviewed the other night. Do you know, I was incredibly humbled because he mentioned me. And I was like, wow, I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know he was going to. But he said, you and Jogger, and he said a few others, Lisa, years ago, you were here, there, and everywhere in your car, going around showing people how to do it, and you didn't earn money for doing it. What you got was the group income, but you had the foresight to realise a lot of people doing a little creates a lot. So actually, there's some fabulous courses on the partner portal, mentoring courses. You've got an upline, there's somebody that will show, I will coach to coach. So on Saturday, despite going up to Yorkshire, hey, I've been to Barnsley and I forgot to get myself a fridge magnet to say I've been there because I always collect them wherever I go. But I was staying with one of the new partners and it was an exercise to show her how going around you can pick up prospects. And she was gobsmacked. How I turned a free parking ticket into a prospecting opportunity. That's one for another day. But also on the Saturday, on the Thursday night last week, I mentored, a lady called Lucy. And she brought a prospect in, a teacher. And this teacher took everything and wanted to be a partner. And as I said to somebody else, actually, 3 children and a full-time teacher. That's pretty busy in anyone's books. In fact, actually, I call that exhausting. So she did her online training, the hour, Friday night at 10 o'clock, because it was quiet time. That's called showing initiative, and it's called self-motivation. So Saturday morning, despite being in Yorkshire, I jump on my laptop because I took it up. And the lady I stayed with, Lucy knows her because she's already met her, the other partner, she was sat with me. So I was having a double whammy. I was coaching Lucy and I was coaching Elaine how to do a fast start plan. And more importantly, how to get people to actually make phone calling correctly, because it's the most important bit. That's the bit I spend all the time on. How do you make a call? How do you do it right? That lady, since Saturday, and I've sent her an email with the script, with her fast start plan, her goals, her wishes, and everything else, she now has already booked 4 appointments and she's got another 4 lined up. That's the way you do it. Go into big action. And that's what you have to say to them. You know what? In order for a plane to be able to get up into the air, it has to have full throttle, all engines blasting at the beginning to get along that runway to take off. It doesn't work if you dribble drabble like I did for 2 years. You don't get competent. You don't get confident because you're just touching it once in a while. So guys, that is exactly 58 minutes worth of coaching. We started at 2 minutes after past. So that's what I wanted to sort of impart to you. There's more stuff that I'm going to elaborate on this whole thing, because I think we've got to get over that it's about sharing this more than anything else. And if you personally don't feel skilled, so you don't feel competent, so you don't feel confident, then what you do is you go upline and you ask somebody that is. And there are lots of people that are willing and wanting to help you. All right, guys, I shall see you all next week. And it's been lovely to share with you. And it will all be sent out on a recording. Oh, do enjoy Partner Connect, good old Pizza Tuesday, as we used to call it. And I did notice on my list that we do now get a whole 6 dough balls to ourselves. Don't we love dough balls? Enjoy the camaraderie, folks. Lovely. And see you next week. Tuesday at 4:30. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks.